Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Covering Coven, a show dedicated to discussing last night's episode of American Horror Story Coven. I am your moderator, Perri Nemiroff, and here are our panelists.
Hi, I'm Alexis Saarela.
Hey, I'm Allison Ullrich.
Hi, I'm Megg Hochbaum.
Hello, I am Sasha Capelli.
So in The Axeman Cometh, Zoe makes contact with a spirit trapped inside the academy who she believes could help the Coven take a step forward towards putting up a stronger fight and sustaining their lineage. Meanwhile, Cordelia is devastated, not by what she lost after the attack, but by the truth that she uncovers with what she has gained. First up, big thumbs up to Sasha for pegging Hank as a witch hunter. So, Sasha, what are you thinking now that you're right? How much of a threat is this guy?
Oh, man. Well, seemingly not very much so. I feel like, I mean, he got the young broad, he got the lineage, he killed the 7 descendants of Salem or whatever, but I honestly don't think he's going to be able to penetrate this coven. I think he can try his best with Angela Bassett, which that scene was pretty baller between the two of them. When he said witch hunter, I was like, yes! But I think he's going to have some trouble getting through because they're not gonna let this dude penetrate them. I don't think so at all.
Well, and it seems like he also has some real feelings for Cordelia. I don't know. I think Angela called him out. I think it was
I
true.
think he does, but I don't think those feelings for Cordelia will outweigh his loyalty to Marie.
Well, we can hope.
Now, I wonder what his agenda is, though. Like, there has to be some sort of backstory that's going to explain why he wants to take them all out.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out like why he got into witch hunting and how he met Marie and all that stuff. Like, I really hope they go into that in the next few episodes.
If Nan can read minds, how did it not come up that, she was in his head and she could tell if he's in the house? Not to ruin the story continuity, but, if Nan's in there, how did she know the witch hunter?
But now we have Spaulding, and we know that people that are aware of Nan's ability can mess with it. So maybe he is just super schooled and bypassing that.
True.
Yeah, definitely.
That kind of brings us to the point, though, that somebody made about Misty being able to bring back people at will.
Yeah.
Like those two things and just expanding the rules with those powers, it kind of like demystifies it and takes away from some of the tension that people can have such control over the situation.
It does. As soon as Marie said, I want you to bring me their heads, I was like, well, Misty will just sew those heads right back on.
Slap a little mud on it, you're done with it.
There you go.
There's got to be a way to, like, I don't know, with, like, zombies, if you, like, shoot them through the head, there's got to be a way that Misty, maybe we'll see her try and bring someone back and it won't work, I hope. Because it's totally taking away from it.
Maybe Misty will find her tribe with the Voodoos, and she'll try to bring back the Minotaur, and that won't work.
True.
So now onto the topic of loyalty. Meg, can you walk us through where our old and our new alliances now stand?
Yeah, they kind of allude to it in the next episode, so I won't touch on it too much with Queenie maybe switching to the voodoo side, but I feel like loyalty will end up being a big thing for the whole series because you see Misty has a loyalty to Myrtle when she's bringing her back, and they don't really explain that, so I want to see where that goes. And then also, obviously, Spaulding's undying loyalty for Fiona. I mean, he's never going to say a word, and he'll even admit to necrophilia and murder just to save her ass. And then we have Kyle running to Misty first, and as soon as the feelings evoked from his mother come rushing back, then he runs to Zoe right away. So there's the loyalty from that. And then there's even a question of loyalty with Roy. Is he loyal to Cordelia, or is he going to be loyal to Marie?
I'm going to throw Madison in there now. I wonder what's going to happen between her and Zoe. Now that Zoe brought her back, I guess she owes her something. And I don't think Madison's going to look over that.
Right. And when they find out, how Madison died, that's going to be a huge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot wait for that one. Yeah. But what I can't wait for even more is the new casting announcement that Ryan Murphy, the show creator, just made. He recently tweeted, "Guess who's visiting the Coven? The legendary Stevie Nicks." There's no word on the details of her role just yet, but considering Misty's got a serious thing for Stevie Nicks and the fact that Kyle broke Stevie in this last episode, I wouldn't be surprised if she came in playing herself as sort of like a figment of Misty's imagination. Anybody else have a theory?
Yeah, I feel like she's going to come in a vision to Misty, either as herself or some, like, like faraway Wiccan witch and give Misty some sort of advice on how to do something. She is Misty's goddess, so she's going to be there for her.
I could also see it going like more of a comedy route and having Misty find her and want to join with her, and her being like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's all
Find her tribe, and her tribe is just that she's a groupie of Stevie Nicks.
And Myrtle will like pop up with her red hair, and they'll have like a little party together.
Yeah.
Speaking of Myrtle's red hair, did you guys notice in her grave that so it was brown with white, and then all of a sudden, right where her head should be, there was like a little thick shade of red.
Oh yeah, it was her hair. I guess they're trying to tell you like, hey, dummy proof, this is Myrtle under here because her hand pops out.
So in this week's viewer comment section, we're going to discuss a topic submitted by Dave Suchman, because in this episode, Nan takes another step towards becoming a possible Supreme. Dave pointed out that Fiona once mentioned her ability to catch any guy's eye, but now, with her power fading, it's Nan who gets the hot guy next door. And on top of that, in this episode, The Axeman Cometh, we see Fiona getting a taste of the burden that comes with Nan's ability. Is that some sort of sign that there's a Supreme-related connection between the two? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I've always said from day one, I thought maybe Nan would be the Supreme because she seems like she's not the typical Supreme type. But now, I mean, she is gaining power. I don't know. I think there is a possibility, but I'm still thinking that Zoe might turn out and be the Supreme.
It's interesting with Zoe because she did seem to pick up all these skills really fast.
Right.
But then I was thinking back to when they did revive Kyle, and she did sort of agree, in her own words, to marry the devil. So I don't know if these powers are a good thing that she's gaining all of these powers.
Yeah, I feel like she's like all of a sudden opening books and knowing where to go and knowing how to call Marie, and like now all of a sudden she's like witch like pro. So I feel like she's learning all this stuff too fast for her own good. And Nan still kind of has like that. She's kind of holding on to things a little bit better than like Zoe's going off the handle. Like she's like doing all these witchy things. She doesn't know how to control herself. So I feel like Nan still might be in the front. I feel like she might be the Supreme.
Plus, did you guys see the hand that came up? I mean, I could be crazy, but when Zoe was reaching for the book and she's kind of like guiding around trying to figure out where it is, all of a sudden another hand comes up and like picks up the book sort of with her. Did you guys see that?
I didn't notice that.
In the closet scene?
Yeah, well, when not in the closet scene, when she's picking a book from the bookshelf and they're like, there's so many there, they're all different languages, her hand is wavering and then another hand comes in.
Ooh.
It's weird.
I didn't like that.
I was going to say the other possibility that we haven't talked about is possible that Cordelia, who just got a new power, could be the next Supreme. Maybe she's going to overcome her mother.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
But with the Supreme, aren't you getting new powers? And has Nan really gotten any new powers other than just owning being able to read everybody's mind?
No, she hasn't really gotten anything new.
No.
That we know of. I mean, she might be hiding them.
I'm thinking it's going to be a completely different person. I'm still going with the idea that a new girl walks in and she is the Supreme and she's bad and they all have to team up and take her down so she can't take over the Coven. Because Zoe's too much of the obvious answer. You can't start the show with her and then have her be the Supreme. And I don't know, the other, especially with like what happens with Queenie in the coming attractions, I think that's going to be the rest of her storyline for the season, her dealing with that side of this. And I don't know, as much as I love Nan, I don't know. She just has not exhibited the amount of power that the other girls have.
Yeah.
It's Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe.
And then Misty will have to come and save Stevie from everyone killing her.
So now we're going to roll into the rapid fire section of the show to touch on what we're most looking forward to in the episode to come. I'm going with the obvious answer. My eye is on this Axeman. I'm thinking he is this season's Lee Emerson, which is the character that Ian McShane played in Asylum, because they presented him as this possible one-off character. He gets this big, bold opening, but then he's left with the potential to return and full force, too. And McShane's character also tried to kill Jessica Lange in Asylum, and considering where the Axeman Cometh ends and the fact that he has a vendetta against witches, I think there's a good chance that this new character will try to pull something similar in this season.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And maybe he'll team up with the witch hunters and axe them all down. I do definitely see him kind of coming back and fighting against all the witches because he does need to get a vengeance. So he'll avenge his death.
Alexis, what are you looking forward to next week?
Well, I loved seeing those suffragette witches in 1919, so I would love if we saw more witches over the years. Like, I know we saw, when Fiona was in the 70s or whatever decade that was, but I would love to just see, like, some more examples of what the witches did at different times. And I can't wait to see how Cordelia's powers develop and what she's going to find out.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Cordelia and Fiona are going to throw down after Cordelia sees that Madison was killed by her mother. And I know that Fiona can probably hide her thoughts from Nan, but can she hide it from her own daughter?
I think the thing I'm looking forward to most is we don't know who the hooded figure was, and for a minute there I was worried it might be somebody who knew that by losing her sight Cordelia would gain the second sight, and it could have been Nan, but that seems too far-fetched, so now I'm starting to think that we got to go back to the neighbors, and maybe the neighbor was the hooded figure, so I'm hoping they explain that soon.
How about you, Sasha?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to some old school witch hunting. Because as much as I love witches and the rituals of that, I kind of want to know why obviously know why the Axeman wants to kill all the witches. But why does Hank want to kill all the witches? And obviously we know why Marie wants to do it. So I can't wait to see them all band together and go against the Coven, and for the Coven to kick their asses.
We also need Kathy Bates back. Where did she go?
Where'd she
I don't
go?
like this without her.
No, we need her.
So that's all the time we've got for this week. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shock Till You Drop. Watch next week's episode of American Horror Story Coven, and then join our discussion the next day. Also, don't forget to chime in yourself and leave a comment, because we may explore your topic on next week's show. Thanks for covering Coven with us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.